Welcome to the World of Horror podcast with Mom and Mac. I'm Mom.
And I'm Mac.
This is the podcast where we share our love of international horror. Everyone has their fears, but we are not afraid of subtitles. Disclaimers for adult language and spoilers. Hi, Mac. How's it going?
Hi, Mom. It's, WoHos, you should know. You should be happy that we're recording right now because it's in spite of a lot, okay? The world's against us. Technology's against us. The weather's against us. So if you're listening to this right now, say thank you out loud. That's how I am.
I totally get it. I had a new HVAC system put in. That's my latest grown-up news.
Ooh la la.
I know. So what that meant was I had to get estimates from some companies, and then I had to make a decision about who to go with. And then they came out to my house and worked for not that long. Like, I want to say 4 hours. And now I have a whole new system. But I got it just in time because we are currently experiencing a heat wave, which shows no signs of abating. And I hate the heat.
Same. Alan made a good comparison yesterday. He was like, wow, it's like immediately getting smothered in a blanket when you go outside. Yeah. But not the good kind.
No. I've been getting up early and going for walks, and I went Monday and Tuesday was fine, not great. And today I made it 25 minutes, and I was like, that's it.
That's a lot. You should be proud of yourself.
Yeah, it was disgusting. I got home. I can't imagine like running or doing anything like vigorous out there.
Anybody who is working outside right now, you are God's bravest soldier, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. My lawn guy came over the other day, and he's got a riding lawnmower, but still, I was like, he had the hat with the flap in the back, to protect his neck and everything.
A professional.
Yeah, he is. And I thought, yeah, that's about right. Yeah, I don't want to be out there at all. In fact, I was going to go see 28 Years Later, and I haven't gone to see it yet because I don't want to go out in the weather.
That's valid. Like I have not gone on a walk in forever. But the thing is, I really don't desire to. Like, I'm not really like wistful about it. I'm kind of like, ugh, God. And like every time I go back into my house, I'm like, my sanctuary.
Yeah, I also haven't seen that movie because it's so crowded.
Yeah.
I think during the week it might be fine, so I might shoot for next week.
Mm-hmm.
But Megan 2.0 is going to come out, so I don't know how long 28 Years Later is going to be in the theater.
Are you excited about Megan 2.0?
I heard it was good.
From whomst?
I don't know. I don't remember. But I liked Megan.
I think, okay, I need to see it with you. I think I
did.
Oh, that's sad. That means that even the power of seeing it with you is not enough for me to think it was good. God only knows what I would have thought if I was alone.
I actually liked it better watching it with you because, because you're like, this is really camp. This is fun.
Okay. I don't know why I'm like, maybe the trailer for Megan 2.0 soured me because it just felt so like, this is cool, right, guys? She's like a boss-ass bitch. Am I right, guys?
Yeah, I think it's totally going to depend on the script.
Yeah, and the performances.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think Allison Williams is...
She's not great.
Great, yeah.
No, she's
fine.
She's really pretty. That's great.
She doesn't do anything for me.
She's very skinny. No offense, Allison Williams. So
no offense taken.
Allison, oh my God. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, she's very thin. I don't know. Whatever. She's a type, but she doesn't do anything for me.
She like trods off sadly.
I
Oh,
mean, I
okay.
liked it when Ronnie Chang was in the last one, but he's dead. So he won't be back.
Rips.
Yeah.
I had something. Oh, well, I had to get a new one. I was going to tell you something. Oh my God, where did it go in my head? It was like an aggravating thing. And I was like, this is perfect to talk about on the podcast. And well, it's gone. I'm going to interrupt you like 30 minutes in. I'll be like, wait, go back. So
that's okay.
I think my head's empty.
I had something else to talk about too, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh no. Oh, I don't know if this is it, but I did remember something. Have you ever heard of the show Couple to Throuple?
No.
Me and Alan, we were on Peacock and we saw that there was this show called Couple to Throuple, and he was very like curious about it, so we started watching it. It's like Love Island, except there are couples, 4 couples, all these singles, and it's like Love Island except the couples pick a single to maybe add to their throuple. And you know, at first I was like, only one of these couples should be here, because there's one couple that's like, they're both bodybuilders, they've been together 12 years, married for 2, they seem perfect for each other, and I'm like, okay, yeah, these guys, they know what's up. But there were some other couples that I'm like, you guys are not ready to even begin thinking about adding another person. Like, there's this one gay couple, and like, because part of it, they have these little challenges where like, testing boundaries. Okay, now we're going to have the single touching one of the couples, and then the other couple can say like a safe word if like they want it to stop. But here's what this one guy did. He was clearly upset, but didn't say anything. And it took his partner to be like, I can tell he's upset, and like he uses the safe word. And then this guy is like not talking to his partner, who, by the way, was so nice. He was like, I could tell his energy shifted. I don't want to make him upset, so I used the safe word. So then when he's like, hey, well, why didn't you use it? Like, it's your job to use the safe word. And he's like, well, you only used it right at the end of him kissing you. So it's like, oh my, like he was setting this guy up to fail and to like piss him off. And it kind of was just like hard to watch, of like active emotional abuse occurring.
Oh, geez.
Because the other guy was so sweet, like seems like so perfect. And then so I had to look up if they're still together. Luckily, they broke up. So thank God.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, speaking of problematic couples, we should get into our movies.
Oh, it's like, oh, I thought there was some gossip.
No, just Phantom of the Opera.
He is problematic, though.
Oh my God. I mean, we'll get into it, but I'd never seen this film before, and I always sort of thought he was supposed to be sympathetic, but he was not.
Okay, that is what, because I had never seen this movie, but I had watched like the movie musical with like Gerard, Gerard Butler? Is it him or Russell Crowe? One of those.
Russell Crowe.
And is Patrick, the guy who's in The Conjuring, he plays Raoul.
Oh, Patrick Wilson.
Yeah, and he's great. So I watched that movie, and then I also watched the stage performance, and all I knew was like the dun 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 song. And then I was like, well, this guy, he's ugly, but there has to be a reason why Christine would maybe be with him. Nope. Just predatory, incel, disgusting man. So I'm glad he's ugly. Sorry, that was a bit harsh.
Well, WoHos, if you haven't guessed it, today we're talking about phantoms, and our first film is Phantom of the Opera. Now, there are a million versions of this film.
Yes.
But this is the one from 1925, and this is the short plot summary from IMDb. A mad, disfigured composer seeks love with a lovely young opera singer.
Wow.
Okay.
That
These,
is that is not the synopsis.
These stats are crazy. So this was directed by Rupert Julian, uncredited, Lon Chaney, Ernst Lemel, and Edward Sedgwick. Screenplay by uncredited, Walter Anthony, Elliot J. Clausen, Bernard McConville, Frank L. McCormack, Tom Reed, Raymond L. Schrock, Jasper Spearing, Richard Wallace. And it's based on The Phantom of the Opera, a 1910 novel by Gaston Leroux.
Why are so many people uncredited?
Well, that always makes me nervous when you see that many writers on a project. You're like, uh-oh. That's never a good sign. All right, stars Lon Chaney, Norman Carey, Mary Philbin, Arthur Edmund Carew, Gibson Gowland, Snitz Edwards, and Bernard Siegel. Cinematography by Charles Van Enger. Uncredited additional photography by Milton Breidenbecker and Virgil Miller. Edited by Edward Curtis, Maurice Pivar, Gilmore Walker, Lois Weber, and music by Gustav Heinrichs. The release dates were September 6, 1925 in New York, November 15, 1925 in the US, and it has a running time of 107 minutes. How did you feel about this runtime?
You know, it's better than the 2 hours that the stage production is, because that's far too long, and yet still a little bit too long, I would say.
Yeah.
Sometimes they would have people like talking and then no card. And I'm like, well, I can't hear. So like, cut that out.
Also, like the beginning, I don't know about for you, but for me, there was just like one guy, like, I don't know if he was talking to the camera or what, but I'm just like, what is happening right now?
I don't remember him.
Oh, well. At the Paris Opera House, Count Philippe de Chagny and his brother, the Viscount Raoul de Chagny, attend a production of Faust, where the latter's sweetheart, Christine Daae, may sing. Raoul wishes for Christine to resign and marry him, but she prioritizes her career over their relationship.
Typical woman.
Meanwhile, the former management has sold the opera house. While leaving, they tell the new managers about the opera ghost, a phantom who is the occupant of box number 5. I thought this was great. Like, yes. Bye!
Bye, guys! By the way, there's a ghost. See ya.
Madame Carlotta, the prima donna, receives a letter from the Phantom demanding that Christine replace her the following night, threatening dire consequences if this does not happen. In Christine's dressing room, a voice tells her she must take Carlotta's place and think only of her career and her master.
Master is such a heavy word to immediately bring into the movie. When he was like, yeah, and don't forget your master, I was like, whoa, hold on. Because like, I was just comparing like what Andrew Lloyd Webber had done with it, and like, he went a little bit of a softer route of like, he's the angel of music to her. He doesn't know. He's like, I'm your angel, you know? Though it is creepier because he kind of pretends to be the spirit of her deceased father, which is like, well, then why are you making it sexual towards the end? So, because she this whole time thinks, oh, that's the angel of music my father said would watch over me when he died. And he's like, yeah, that's me. That's me. I'm the angel of music. So it may be, in a way, kind of worse than Master, actually, with all that added in.
Oh, my God. Well, she's totally down.
Yeah, in this one, she's like, okay, cool.
That evening, Christine substitutes for Carlotta. During the performance, the managers are startled to see, seated in box number 5, a figure who later disappears. Simon Bouquet then finds the body of his brother, stagehand Joseph Bouquet, hanging by a noose and vows vengeance. Okay.
Where's OSHA? Right? And y'all still want to, like, perform here? It's kind of and something. I'm sorry if I keep comparing it to the musical, but something that I didn't like is that like in the musical, the actors are like pissed. Like they're like, this is fucking scary. Like we don't want to be here. People are dying. Carlotta's got a great line where she's like, because the new owners are like, well, these things do happen, and she's like, these things do happen. No, unless you stop these things from happening, this thing does not happen, which is a great line. And that makes way more sense of everybody to be like, hey, do something about the deaths that are happening.
Yeah. Once again, a note from the Phantom demands Carlotta say she is ill, in quotation marks, and let Christine replace her. The managers get a similar note reiterating that if Christine does not sing, they will present Faust in a cursed house.
I would just fire Christine at this point because I would think she's the one sending it in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd be like, Ghost? No, Christine really wants this role.
Well, yeah, it is kind of interesting because they're sort of, the people in the movie sort of believe and also don't believe that there's a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we've got this one weird guy who is like always seen, you know, kind of by the cellar and stuff, like the undercover cop. Yeah. So it's kind of like, well, who's that? How come nobody knows who this guy is either? This place is run so horribly.
The following evening, a defiant Carlotta sings. During the performance, the Phantom drops the chandelier hanging from the ceiling onto the audience, killing people. I loved that part.
That was amazing. I was literally like, how are they going to do this? And even when they did it, I thought, wow, that's incredible. Yeah. I think this movie would have blown my mind if I had seen it. I mean, it blew my mind in 2025. So,
yeah, it's got some really awesome shots and stuff and cool effects and everything. I just think the script was a little bit haphazard, but I mean, other than that, I think it's just really cool. Really a cool film. Christine enters a secret door behind the mirror in her dressing room, descending into the lower depths of the opera. She meets the Phantom, who introduces himself as Eric and declares his love. Christine faints, and he carries her to an underground suite fabricated for her comfort. Okay, I have questions.
Yes?
Like, how did he get contractors to come?
That's a good question.
Into like the sewers, basically, and like build this house.
Yeah. Did he make it?
I don't think so.
No, he's too busy writing music, I guess.
But that really took me out of it.
I feel like back then, there were so many things that they were like, people don't know how this stuff is made. So
yeah, that's fine. The next day, she finds a note from Eric telling her that she must never look behind his mask. As he is preoccupied playing his organ, Christine playfully tears off his mask, revealing his deformed face. And we get this sort of classic Lon Chaney face. Ah!
I love his makeup. I think he looks so good.
So good. Enraged, the Phantom declares she is now his prisoner. I mean, she was already, right?
I mean, you weren't going to let her leave, so...
like, now? She begs him to let her sing, and he relents, allowing her to visit the surface one last time if she promises not to see Raoul again. Oh, that she'll probably totally honor that commitment.
Go right back down. Yep. Stay with you forever.
Released, Christine meets with Raoul at the annual masked ball. Where the Phantom appears disguised as Red Death. Okay, what did you think about this scene, Mac?
I loved it. I mean, the masquerade, I was like kind of sleeping through when I had first seen Phantom of the Opera, the musical, and the masquerade was like reminded me of Cats. So I was so excited for this part, and I loved his like little skull. And yeah, I mean, I think it's a good like parallel theme of like everybody else is wearing the mask. And so he can hide amongst everyone, kind of the classic Halloween thing. So I liked it. I thought it was fun.
It's also just so cool the way they colored the
I loved that.
the film. Yeah.
Yeah. I wished that we had been able to watch the like a Nosferatu one with the color. I kept thinking about that because it adds so much to those movies.
Yeah, so cool. On the roof of the opera house, Christine tells Raoul about her experiences. Unbeknownst to them, the Phantom is listening nearby.
Not just nearby, he's like on
top.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hanging out like King Kong.
Raoul swears to whisk Christine away to London following her next performance. As they leave the roof, a man with a fez approaches them. Aware that the Phantom awaits downstairs, he leads Christine and Raoul to another exit. The next night, during her performance, Christine is kidnapped. Raoul rushes to her dressing room and meets the man in the fez again. He is actually Inspector Ledoux, a secret policeman who has been tracking Eric since he escaped as a prisoner from Devil's Island. For the criminally insane.
Whoa! He's deformed and insane? Oh my god! Also, this guy is like not good at his job because
no.
Like, yeah. You just, how are you this bad? I feel like he got too caught up in actually working there to like figure out who the count or the Phantom is. Also, I forgot to mention, Eric is such a lame name for this Phantom. Why didn't he just call himself the Phantom? Like, Eric is so like, and then there's Eric, you know? It's like the Phantom and Eric.
I mean, better than Winslow, I think.
Winslow is a cool name.
Yeah, it's a cool name. I don't know. What kind of name would you want the Phantom to have?
No name, Phantom. He's a phantom.
Oh, just Phantom.
Yeah.
Okay. He should never have revealed his real name.
That's what I'm saying. Or at least like make up a cooler one.
Like Butch?
Like Winslow. Like Beef.
Beef! That is a name. After finding the secret door in Christine's room, the two men enter the Phantom's lair. They end up in a torture chamber of his design. Philippe also finds his way into the catacombs, looking for his brother, but is eventually drowned by Eric.
So sad. Also, how did he make all this? He's like, Saw. Like nobody heard like anything, any like, they're like, oh yeah, well there's some knocks down, below the floorboards, but we don't check in on that rats.
Certainly isn't anyone building a torture room.
That would be crazy. Though do watch out for the guy in box 5. He is a ghost.
Yeah. The Phantom subjects Raoul and Ledoux to intense heat. He then locks them in with barrels of gunpowder and causes the room to flood. Christine begs Eric to save Raoul, promising him anything in return, even becoming his wife. This causes the Phantom to save Raoul and Ledoux. A mob led by Simon Bouquet infiltrates Eric's lair. As they approach, the Phantom attempts to flee with Christine. Raoul saves Christine, while Eric, in one last act of twisted showmanship, frightens the crowd by pretending to hold some kind of lethal entity in his clenched fist, only to reveal an empty palm before he is swarmed and killed by the mob and thrown into the Seine.
Kill him.
Just throw him in the river.
Yeah, just throw him.
Raoul and Christine later go on their honeymoon in Viroflay.
Great.
We don't ever see that, but that's good for them. I'm happy.
When the movie ended, I was kind of shocked. I was like, wait, oh, it's over. Like,
I know, me
that's
too.
crazy. Like, oh, they killed him. Oh, and it's over. Okay.
Here's some trivia. Lon Chaney's horrific self-applied makeup was kept secret right up until the film's premiere. Not a single photograph of Chaney as the Phantom was published in a newspaper or magazine or seen anywhere before the film opened in theaters. Universal Pictures wanted the Phantom's face to be a complete surprise when his mask was ripped off.
That's awesome.
It is. Well, this is a funny story. According to Charles Van Enger, the film's cameraman, he had a very strong reaction as Lon Chaney's unsuspecting guinea pig. Chaney had summoned Van Enger to his dressing room without telling him why. When he got there and was standing about a foot behind the door, Chaney suddenly spun around in full Phantom makeup. I almost wet my pants. I fell back over a stool and landed flat on my back. Chaney laughed so hard, and Van Enger, who by then was mad as hell, yelled, "Are you nuts?" Unable to clearly talk with his fake teeth in, Chaney spit them out and said, "Never mind, Charlie. You already told me what I wanted to know."
That is amazing. What a prankster. I feel like I'd do that too. Because, like, that makeup looked so good. And I think, again, back then, I feel like that would scare the shit out of you.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it is so scary. And the shot is so great because the Phantom himself is like mouth agape, just like, yeah. Oh my God.
His body is so good too. Like the way they framed it and everything. That is the best part of the movie.
His
acting
and
the chandelier
is amazing in this film. Let's see. The original ending had the Phantom dying from a broken heart and being found dead at his organ.
It's kind of like a little bit how the musical ends, though he doesn't die. He just kind of is like, I'll just be here in my sewer lair.
Lon Chaney did a lot of work with his performance through his hands. The son of deaf mutes, he learned to be very expressive with them. And as this is a silent performance, the hands are required to convey quite a lot. And I looked it up, and yes, they were non-hearing, non-speaking people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so interesting. Like being able to apply that to this. I think he did like a really good job.
Yeah. Well, briefly, what does Letterboxd have to say about it? Okay, so the first review is a 1-star review because all the half-star reviews were basically like, this shit was really boring.
I mean, watch it on double speed. Like,
So Lauren on Couch gave it 1 star. Snooze fest, but I did count 3 kitty cameos.
Oh, I don't remember the cats.
I just saw 2.
Yeah, 3. Wow, they were like honed in.
Patrick Shakeman gave it 1.5 stars. The beauty standard has dropped significantly in the past 100 years. Nearly every actress in this was absolutely gorgeous. And it's a somewhat captivating experience until the last 30 minutes, which turns borderline nonsensical.
Yeah, and I will say the lady who plays Christine, like the way they did her makeup and everything, especially the first time we see her with that like long, like white blonde hair, she does look so beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. Tomfoolery gave it 1.5 stars. The first incel.
Yep. I would define him as such.
Basically, he says that, he's like, why can't I have a wife just like other men? And, all this mess.
I made you a home in a sewer and your ungrateful ass like won't fuck me. Like what's wrong with you?
Yeah. Basically, that's it. Chris Goodwin gave it 5 stars. The reveal alone may be in contention for the greatest shot in horror history.
That's a lot. That's a really intense thing to say. I respect their opinion.
Joshua Cheeseman gave it 5 stars. Saw this with a live score as a part of WFS, which undoubtedly made the experience. There is so much of this film that deserves to be celebrated. Whoever the fuck lit this, the typography in the cards, the beautiful E in said typography. By the way, are you able, no offense, Mac, but are you able to read the cursive?
Yes, though it is not I don't like cursive. I was actually just talking about this with Layla because she was like, "Oh, do you know that they're not teaching cursive?" And I said, "Good." I do know how to read it, but it's much to my ire because now every time I try to read an old letter, I'm like, it takes me like forever to read it. But when it's written well, yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. Just wondering about that
Yeah.
because I heard that, I don't know who, but somebody is looking for people to read cursive, like to like translate like old letters, old documents.
I mean, it is kind of fun. Like,
yeah.
I think if you're good at, honestly, being good at like a crossword, it's kind of the same because your brain is just kind of like, yeah, that's this word, you know?
Mm-hmm. The gondola-esque bed giving Lightning McQueen bed vibes. The Technicolor of the Masquerade Ball. The word barouche. Thus does the Red Death rebuke your merriment. Yes. Everything else about the Red Death. The verticality of it all. One last little prank before accepting your fate at the hands of the mob. And Rat Redacted gave it 5 stars. Favorite shot, honestly, is the one with the ballet dancer shadows on the wall. Beautiful.
That was very pretty. I like the ballet.
That was very nice. Yeah. It was lit very, very well.
Yes.
So how would we rate this?
Chandeliers?
Yeah.
You go first.
4.25.
I think I'll give it a 4. Like, I think it is very good, but it wasn't for me, I think.
Yeah. I like Nosferatu just a whole bunch more than this. Yeah. It was cool. There were a lot of cool elements, but I'm not like, eager to see it right away again.
Yeah. And I do think that a musical makes a lot more sense for the story because, I mean, it's one thing to just hear somebody singing and then be like, okay, I see why, you love this singer because I love her too. And I am not, I kind of like, I used to be a huge Andrew Lloyd Webber fan. I've kind of like slipped because I kind of question his taste a little bit now. And I do feel that way about Phantom of the Opera. Of course, it's a classic, but I think it's also just the story itself I don't really like. Like, it doesn't give me enough to, like you say, make me feel sympathetic towards the Phantom. I of course, am sympathetic towards people who are, thrown away by society because of things they can't control. But then at the same time, nobody is like entitled to a young, beautiful woman. So I can't really get with him on that one.
Yeah, totally. I'm with you. What have we learned from this film?
Phantom, if you had just been nice, I think it would have gone a long way. If you had not kidnapped her, if you had not threatened her, there's like a lot of things you did there. If you had not done those, because you're talented, people like your music, but you're an asshole.
If you had not created a torture room, if you had not used a noose on a bunch of people,
that'll do it. That will make people not want to be your friend.
Yes, true. Also, I just can't get over when they sign the the theater over to the new owners, and then they're like, "Oh, by the way,
they waited after." That's crazy.
The ink is dry.
Yeah, have fun.
So I would say before you buy an opera theater, especially if it is rumored to have a ghost, check.
Ask the employees about the ghost, because they were all like, the opera ghost?
For sure.
Yes. Yes, he exists and he scares us all.
Would we watch it again?
Maybe.
I'll watch it again, but probably not real soon.
I'd watch it with that live score. That sounds really fun.
That does sound great.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite scene or kill?
I mean, I do love the reveal. That's a cliche, but I'll say it. It's good, and I do love the masquerade ball. His like red outfit, and when he was King Konging on that like spire, I thought that was amazing.
Yeah,
like that's
really
the best
cool.
way to eavesdrop.
Yeah, I I totally agree. Yeah, I think the masquerade ball is just really amazing.
It's a delight.
And who wins the You Fool Award?
The
Phantom.
Or the owners who bought the opera house. They might win the You Fool Award.
They might.
They did not do their due diligence.
All you had to do was ask.
By the way, about that ghost.
Although before I bought my house, I didn't ask about any ghosts. But to be fair, I do not feel like this place is haunted, at all. We've lived in haunted places, but this is not one of those.
Yeah, I don't think mine. I feel like no energies from mine. I think people have just squashed a lot of bugs here. That's the vibe I get of my apartment. Oh, wait, no, I remember the thing. I knew that. I remember the thing I was going to tell you. Okay, it's related to what I just said, which is my apartment sent us all like a survey, and I was in such a bad mood. I just was so mean on the survey because I thought it was anonymous. Like I was like, the carpets are filthy. I've never lived in such a place with such filthy carpets. I see cockroaches every day. Cockroaches are taking over my patio. Blah 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 blah. Just so much meaner than I would ever be. And also I thought nobody was going to read it because nobody ever does. And then they sent me an email that was really nice, which made it worse, like detailing all the things I had said, being like, we would like to tackle these things. And I straight up was like, hey, I responded, I was like, also, I'm sorry, I was in a bad mood and I thought nobody was going to see that. And the guy said, don't apologize for your review. I needed to hear that. I was like, okay, all right.
I did actually have another thing too that I forgot to remember before.
What was it?
So I've been in this sort of cleaning frenzy, and I went into the closet and I just wanted to see if like some of my old workout clothes fit, and they do.
Good job! Yeah. That's awesome. That's such a good feeling.
I know. I was just like, okay then.
Hell yeah.
So that is a really nice feeling.
Yeah, it's like I always have a little bit of fear when I go for it, and then when it all works out, you're like, okay, I shouldn't have been so scared of that. All right. For our next Phantom film, we have Phantom of the Paradise. Here is a short plot summary from IMDb. A disfigured composer sells his soul for the woman he loves so that she will perform his music. However, an evil record tycoon betrays him and steals his music to open his rock palace, the Paradise. It was written and directed by Brian De Palma, starring Paul Williams, William Finley, George Mamoli, Harold Oblong, Archie Hahn, Jeffrey Komanor, Garrett Graham, and Jessica Harper, with cinematography by Larry Pizer, edited by Paul Hirsch, with music by Paul Williams. Released October 31st, 1974, with a runtime of 91 minutes. And I love this movie, so...
How did I ever guess?
Also, I got a question for you. Do you think Paul Williams in any way resembles your sister? Because that was all I could see the whole time.
Oh my gosh.
Even like hand-wise, like, because he's kind of like a shorty.
Yeah, he's 5'2".
Oh my god, a true short king.
Yeah.
Anytime I see a guy depicted, like, I honestly could not hate the character because I just kept thinking, like, you know what? But you made it. You're that short and you made it. And he to me was the highlight of this film. He was so good.
Yeah, really an amazing performance by Mr. Paul Williams.
Yeah, he was so smooth with it, and like his voice was so like buttery. Very good. So we get a Rod Serling voiceover. Swan. He has no other name. His past is a mystery, but his work is already a legend. He wrote and produced his first gold record at 14, and in the years since then he has won so many other that he once tried to deposit them in Fort Knox. He brought the blues to Britain. He brought Liverpool to America. He brought folk and rock together. His band, the Juicy Fruits, single-handedly gave birth to the nostalgia wave of the 70s. Now he is looking for the new sound of the Spheres to inaugurate his own Xanadu, his own Disneyland, the Paradise, the ultimate rock palace. This film is the story of that search, of that sound, of the man who made it, the girl who sang it, and the monster who stole it. I mean, you already know you're in for a great time. It's a great. I love things that are campy and dramatic, and that is like this whole entire movie. It's just so silly.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and I love it so much. And to have Rod Serling open your film,
I mean, I'm in. So we get a little run through of the 1950 style nostalgia band, the Juicy Fruits, which are very, like Beach Boys-esque. Rip, Brian, what's his last name?
Wilson. But they don't start off as Beach Boys-esque. They start off as like a doo-wop.
Yes, that's right. Later they get pretty Beach Boys.
Oh, yes. That song is so crazy. About the carburetor and the upholstery.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So, Star Record producer Swan overhears singer-songwriter Winslow Leach perform an original composition, a song from the cantata based on the legend of Faust. So, we've got our would-be Phantom. And already, I must say, I do like this Phantom a little bit more. He's way less incel-esque to me. I feel like he's just there for the love of the music. He loves writing and he just wants people to hear his music everywhere. And Swan believes Winslow's music is ideal for the opening of the Paradise, which is like what I love is that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I do think the song is good, but everything that he's describing, you kind of just have to be like, okay, yeah, sure. It is kind of like, it's not that it's confusing, but more I'm just like, okay, all right, yeah, you want that for your, and to have like a guy want like a rock thing, but they keep saying cantata is like so funny to me. And so Swan's highly anticipated new concert hall, So he wants the music for the opening of the Paradise, which is his highly anticipated new concert hall, and his right-hand man, Arnold Philbin, steals it. Winslow loses his temper when Philbin casually mentions that the Juicy Fruits would love his songs, but is pacified when Philbin says he thinks Swan is going to produce Winslow's first album. And I just love the power immediately. I mean, the intro gives you, your context, but I feel like everybody does such a great job of being like, oh, Swan's going to listen to it? Well, okay, sure, and I think that's done really well.
But we also get the first flash of temper from Winslow.
That is true. Yeah, that he's like, no,
the Juicy Fruits can't. Only I can sing my music.
Yeah. 1 month later, sweet, sweet poor Winslow goes to Swan's Death Records headquarters to follow up about his music. He goes in and he's like, well, I was supposed to hear back, but, it's been a month. And when the receptionist opens up the book, she sees his name and it says, like, do not let in or something, like not to be seen under any circumstance. So she never to be seen. Yes. So he is thrown out. And something that I feel like you notice in this movie is I guess they could not pay for any signage. So like the signs are always like added in post very poorly. Like the Death Records, like it kind of reminds me right now, there's like a lottery ticket commercial and they so clearly are not holding up the real lottery ticket. They're just imposing. And they keep doing that throughout. Like maybe they didn't think of the banner design till later, but I thought it was charming though. So he sneaks into Swan's private mansion as Never Thought I'd Meet the Devil plays, where auditions for female singers are being held. He meets Phoenix, played by Ms. Jessica Harper, and her voice is beautiful. She's got this like nice, like, deeper tone to her voice.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful.
Alto. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really beautiful.
And he thinks that her music would be perfect. I mean, sorry, her singing would be perfect for his music. So she's very kind and encouraging to him. So they have like a nice little moment. But then when she's brought back, like the girls are just thrown onto this couch. Like they're not being auditioned for music. They're being auditioned as, sex.
Yeah. And
basically.
By Philbin.
Yeah.
Not that by anybody would be appropriate or, but I mean, it's just even more disgusting because it's him.
Yeah, I will say, like, that part of the movie, obviously it's a real thing that happens, but I guess it's so disturbing that it kind of kept playing in my head because I was really thinking of, like, it's so crazy that this is just a common thing. Like,
yeah.
The rampantness that must be for women taken advantage of in these industries, it must be like such a common thing for it to just be like, yeah, we do that, like it's not even, oh, don't talk about that, it's too gross. It's like, no, we do it, yeah, all the time. Like it's so gross. It's really disturbing.
But can we back up to Phoenix's audition, because I just love the way Jessica Harper sings and dances.
Yes, yeah.
She's just so cool.
It's very like sensual, but not in like a super like sensual of like somehow not moving much, but conveying this like mysterious woman vibe,
Yeah. Yeah, I just love the way she moves. I don't know how to describe it, but she's just like super cool. And she herself, if she's 5'3", I'd be surprised. I mean, she's a slip of a thing.
Yeah.
So she's just very slight.
So next we get a cut to like all these women in bed, and that's when we learn like, no, this is really what the audition is. And you can already tell that Winslow is in drag. And I will say, despite the like massive homophobia in this movie, I don't know why it didn't bother me. Like it just, not that it's funny, but in a way it kind of is, because I don't know, like what I love is that immediately all these, like this one woman is like curling up to him, just being like, just hold me for a second. And you just see his like big hand on her shoulder. So we know that's Winslow. But I like that the girls are like, they find some comfort in him being there, which I thought was sweet. But yeah, this guy Swan walks up and he just says, get this F slur out of here.
Well, I think it's so funny because like later on, Swan says to Beef, you can sing that song better than any bitch could. And it's clear that Winslow is not gay.
Yeah.
And I just, the way that Swan spits out these like insults, I just feel like he's just doing it to be cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I felt the same thing. I was just like, okay.
Yeah. Because then also what's kind of disturbing is like the next time we see Winslow, like they beat the shit out of him. He's like all bloody and stuff. And then he's framed for drug dealing. Okay, did they pull up a little bag of garlic? Because that's what it looked like, was a clove of garlic to me. Like it looks like, and yeah, Swan said he'd have this on him.
No, I think it's garlic. Like supposed to be like cocaine in like a condom wrapper. A condom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew that's what it, but I was like, is that garlic? I just thought it was fun. Like I didn't even question it. I was like, of course, yeah. So he's given a life sentence in Sing Sing prison. I love this scene too because the cops are like, and you know how much time that is, right? Cuts to the judge, life sentence, and then Winslow turns around, no. It's just so silly.
Yeah, it's so big.
Yes, yeah. Like Winslow, his performance is very like all the time. So then he's voluntold that he's a part of this program to extract and replace his teeth with metal ones. And, we got another great scene of him being like, but I shouldn't be here. I'm innocent. And then the guy's like, okay, how much of you other crooks are innocent? Everybody raises their hand. So, which is also just like disturbing. But, so yeah, that is for the dental health research program. funded by, of course, the Swan Foundation. So this guy, even when he's got him in life for prison, he's still fucking with him. Like, he is just a bad man. And somehow they don't make me ever hate Swan. Like, I don't hate the guy. I think he's a horrible piece of shit, but I'm just kind of like, well, yeah, of course you do that.
Well, I was just there's a movie out right now with Chris Evans and Pedro Pascal, and I heard a review that said the casting was really bad because everybody loves Pedro Pascal, and so it would be really hard. He doesn't play like a bad guy or anything, but I think there's sort of like this love triangle that's going on, and
I saw the trailer. Yeah,
you want it to be Pedro Pascal, and it's like it's sort of like he's so charming. Everybody loves him so much that he's like, I think, in trouble now in terms of some roles.
Yeah,
but and maybe Paul Williams was like that too.
But I like it. Like, I feel like you can tell why, like, you know, because also he's dressed so flamboyantly the whole time, which I love. Like, he's got these like downright blouses on, which I just loved, in his hair.
Costuming, yeah,
it was amazing. Yeah, I saw that trailer with the Pedro Pascal thing. I think also part of that is somehow Chris Evans seems like the most bullshit worst boyfriend you could ever have. So it is kind of like, well, number one, we all love him, and number two, why would I want you? Was my question. Okay. So 6 months later at Sing Sing, Winslow breaks down because he hears that the Juicy Fruits are a massive success, and that the band will open the Paradise performing Faust. He's like, that's my song! So he escapes prison in a delivery box, which this guy is like, how tall is this man? There's no way, but yep. And he enters the Death Records building with the worst security in the world. So a guard startles Winslow as he's destroying the records and the presses, which causes him to slip and fall face first into a record press, which burns the right half of his face and destroys his vocal cords. He escapes the studio and falls into the East River. This poor guy. But you know what? He's so determined, which is like really inspiring.
And the scene is kind of crazy and madcap, like factory. What at the record, not company. What,
the pressing?
The studio. Yeah. I mean, all these allusions to the original are really fun too.
I
like
agree.
Falling into the river, or, you know, later on there'll be a mirror with like a secret door, and, you know, just all these really cool allusions.
That's what I loved. I love that this was like, I really liked that Brian De Palma was like, I like Phantom of the Opera. I'm gonna kind of do that, like, a little bit. And also he threw in some like portrait of Dorian Gray in there at the end, which I loved. I think more people should do this. Just kind of make something that's kind of the thing. Not really, but like, yes, it is. So a now disfigured Winslow sneaks into the Paradise's costume department. And I mean, this has got to be one of my favorite scenes ever. He goes for like the most outrageous costume, because of course he does. He picks a black cape, a silver owl-like mask, and he has this like makeup on, like black lipstick, which really shows off his metal teeth, and this like black eyeliner, and like the owl's like eye holes. His eyes, I mean, this guy already has ginormous eyes, and they just look so huge and like bulging in this outfit. So I loved this. I was like, hell yes, Phantom, come together. So now he's the Phantom of the Paradise. He terrorizes Swan and his musicians, nearly killing the Beach Bums, formerly the Juicy Fruits, who have traded doo-wop for surf music. So yes, now they are the Beach Boys. Excuse me, the Beach Bums.
I love this scene. And there's a split screen. So De Palma, so he is famous for split screens. And so we have one here where Philbin is talking to this young woman in part of the screen, and then there's a performance of this like ridiculous song that's like literally about a car in the other split screen. So I just love it. And then they come together when the car comes into the scene, the main scene, and is blown to bits by the bomb.
And I love that, like, isn't there one guy who's like, I'm not getting a good
Yes.
feeling about this. I think I should leave. And of course, Philbin's like, no, get back on there. Take some pills.
Yeah.
This also reminds me, I don't know if, here's a little fun fact. The B-side for Bohemian Rhapsody, which was a highly coveted position in Queen, was the song I'm in Love with My Car by Roger Taylor, where he sings that he is in love with his car, gonna buy me a new carburetor, saying that cars don't talk back and women do. So,
Wow.
yeah. So, but the song is like, it's not good, but I do like it. I'm in love with my car. Got a feel for my automobile. Okay, so so the Phantom confronts Swan, who immediately recognizes him as Winslow. He's like, yeah, okay, Winslow. And he offers him a chance to have his music produced his way. Swan provides Winslow with an electronic voice box, enabling him to speak and sing. And I love this because Winslow's like playing his song, and he sounds so robotic at first. And we just have, Swan being like, we'll do this, and we go here, like flipping all these switches. And then suddenly it just sounds amazing,
Yeah.
which is so funny. So now he's just got this voice box around his neck always so that he can talk, though it still sounds kind of robotic. Swan asks Winslow to rewrite his Faust cantata with Phoenix in mind for the lead. And although Winslow agrees and signs a blood contract, Swan like immediately breaks that. And he's like, she's going to be the backup singer. Which is, the Phantom whole thing of the Phantom wants Christine Daae to sing, and the producers are like, nah, we'll just go with Carlotta. Though in this one, it is kind of different because Swan, I don't even know why he wants Beef to,
I think he's just always looking for that new sound. And the part with Beef is crazy too. Because he comes from Transylvania.
Mm-hmm. Wait, I looked it up, and it seemed like Rocky Horror Picture Show came out after this movie.
So I wondered about that too. I wonder if there was a stage show before the film.
Because it's so clearly inspired by, like, his whole character is Dr. Frankenfurter. His name's Beef.
It's got to be.
Yeah. Okay. So Winslow completes Faust, but Swan then replaces Phoenix with male glam rock prima donna from Transylvania named Beef. I love this guy. New favorite character. He's just so like, he's just screaming and like grimacing at the camera all the time. And I love him. Swan steals the completed cantata and then seals Winslow inside the recording studio with a brick wall, like cask of
Amontillado.
Mm-hmm. But they did not seal them bricks enough. I'll just say that. So he immediately escapes and confronts Beef in the shower, Psycho style, kind of.
With a plunger.
Yeah, with a plunger. They plunges over his mouth, and he threatens to kill Beef if he ever performs Winslow's music again. And I love Beef because he's like, heard. Okay. Like, no problem with me. And he's immediately leaving. But Philbin, of course, accosts him, and he's like, well, you got to do it. He's like, listen, I was threatened. If somebody doesn't want me to sing, I'm not going to do it. And he's like, no, you're going to sing. Here, take these pills. So he goes on stage and he does it. And because Philbin's like, are you sure you're not just on the drugs? And he's like, I know drug real from real. This is so great. I love every character. So also Beef's performance, again, is very like a mix of like it's as if he is Frankenfurter and his creation. They've got like, it starts with all these women, working, like it looks like they're sewing something, and then they like electrocute this box, and then he rises up and his like limbs look like they're sewn on, but they've got like glittery, like blood coming off. It's so good, and he looks really good in the outfit. He's got like really buff legs, so he did a great job. This is like one of the highlights of the whole movie for me. I was so like, I know he's gonna die, but I don't want him to. So while hiding in the rafters, Winslow fatally electrocutes Beef with a stage prop lightning bolt. Horrified, Philbin orders Phoenix on stage, where her performance receives rapturous applause. Though if I was in this audience, even though Phoenix does a great job, I would be so fucking pissed. Because you start off with this, because everybody just thinks that the electrocution is part of the thing. And then you get this woman coming out in white, just like singing with a spotlight on her, which she did a great job. But again, I'm just saying, if we go from that beginning to then that, I'd be like, boo, tomato, tomato. But no, they're all super happy. And this is such a classic ingenue thing too. This is a scene in like Funny Girl and Phantom of the Opera, where at first, like, you know, the singer's like, oh, I don't know, but then they're just amazing at singing. So after the show, Swan promises Phoenix stardom, and she's immediately like, you know, she got such a great taste of it. She doesn't even question it. She's like, yeah, whatever you want. Yeah, sure. And then on the rooftop, she's confronted by Winslow, who implores her to leave the paradise. And he's really looking out for her. He's like, listen, he took everything from me. He's going to do it to you too. And she's basically like, who are you? Like, you're some weirdo in a cape telling me to not do this. And so she just calls him a freak and like runs away. So then later, Winslow observes Swan and Phoenix in an embrace. Like he's got like a glass roof. He's on top of the roof, just like looking in. I kept waiting for them to look up and see him. Yeah. And Swan does see him, but from the camera that he's recording him, which is because then we just see on TV like the camera over him as, you know, Winslow's looking in it, and that just like makes Swan like more into it, and then starts getting more into kissing Phoenix because he knows that Winslow's gonna see it. So he's just a fucked up guy. So heartbroken, he stabs himself in the heart, and we get this like, you know, bright red blood. But then Swan explains that Winslow cannot die until Swan himself has died because of the contract. Winslow then attempts to stab Swan, but he is unharmed, claiming, well, I'm also under contract. And it's like, what? Oh my God. So then Rolling Stone announces that there's, of course, going to be a wedding between Swan and Phoenix during the finale of Faust. Like, he's like, this would be the best way to, like, just make Winslow full of despair, which lock him up again. Like, I don't know why he's poking this owl so much that he's like gonna keep doing this shit but not get better bricks.
Yeah.
So then Winslow learns that Swan made a pact with the devil in 1953, because we get this great scene where this woman, who, by the way, does not look old, like, no. She's just wearing like little Home on the Prairie, like, you know, outfit. And so these women are, because she's like, oh, like Swan, I went to school with him. These women go, you look 20 years older than him. He looks older than her, and she does not look old. But that's when we're like, oh, okay, you know, he's older than he seems. And we also kind of did get a little bit of a taste of this, because at one point you hear a recording before this where Swan's voice goes from being all smooth to being like, and you just sign this contract right now. So now we know why. It's because Swan, firstly, he was filming himself in the bathtub about to kill himself, and he's going to do it because he's going to get old. And that's when his reflection in the mirror is like, hey, if you're going to kill yourself, might as well just do this deal, and then you'll look like me forever. So he gets into a little, you know, Portrait of Dorian Gray moment. So now the videotaped recording of his contract will age and fester in his place, which is so funny. So the only way to break the spell is to destroy the video. So Winslow realizes Swan is planning to have Phoenix assassinated during the ceremony, which even Philbin is like, bro, why are you doing this?
Yeah, why?
Like, oh, you know, ratings. So this guy just needs to be stopped. So Winslow destroys all the recordings and heads to the wedding. During the wedding, Winslow stops the assassination and gets the bullet to hit Philbin instead. Poor Philbin. And Winslow swings onto stage and rips off Swan's mask, exposing him as a decaying monster on live television. And then a crazed Swan attempts to strangle Phoenix, but Winslow intervenes and stabs him repeatedly, which reopens his own wound in the process. Swan dies, and then Winslow dies, and then Phoenix finally recognizes him and like embraces him, which the crowd is like full of animals, man. Like they have just seen a priest get shot in the head and they're like, ah! And then Swan, like they're lifting him up, you know, like just like, whoa, this guy's ugly, you know, and then they're all just around Phoenix as she caresses Winslow, like, that guy's dead. Which is such a crazy way to end it. Like there's actually no resolution to it. We don't know what happens.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the end. Well, here's some trivia. The record press in which the character Winslow Leach is disfigured was in fact a real pressing plant that was an injection molding press at an Ideal Toy Company plant. William Finley was worried about whether the machine would be safe, and the crew assured him it was. The press was fitted with foam pads, which resemble the casting molds in the press, and there were chocks put in the center to stop it from closing completely. However, the machine was powerful enough to crush the chocks that it gradually kept closing. And it is commonly believed that Finley pulled his head out of the press just in time to avoid being injured, and that his scream in that scene was genuine, but this is actually an exaggeration. Oh, thank God. Finley was quickly pulled out by grips, and the record press scene, along with most scenes in the movie with little dialogue, was filmed without sound, and the talking and sound effects were dubbed in later. At a Phantom of the Paradise convention, Finley exaggerated the story and said that his scream was for real, although he may have meant that he was able to conjure up a very real scream in post-production by thinking back to his memories of the incident. God. The film was a box office flop the year it came out. The only place in North America where it wasn't was in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, where it stayed on the screens for months. They were like, woo, we love it! Well, what does Letterboxd have to say about it? Oh, hey, it's Devin, our best friend, gave it 5 stars. Still absolutely fucking slaps. My one criticism this go-round is that I wish the big finale had a song to go with it. And I think that's very valid, Devin. We love you.
We love you.
Matt Moon gave it 5 stars. Banger. Garfriel gave it 5 stars. I don't think I've ever been in love with a movie like this one in a long time. Wow. I mean, I loved it too. There's something about it that's so fun. Peter Stidman gave it a half star. Fantastic movie, but I got dumped mere minutes after watching it.
Oh,
That's so sad. I would hate the movie too. I love that they waited till the end. Maya gave it a half star. Half a star for beef. I know the difference between drug reel and real reel and the plunger scene. Oh. So they didn't like that. Or they did?
They did. That
was the only thing.
Yeah.
Got it. ONXXIEO gave it a half star. Okay, so it's really got good reviews, but I literally just found this and my dad watched it with me as a kid, and it scared me shitless. This movie haunts me in my darkest little dreams and I'm not going to get over it. But then they give a little like winky with like a little tongue. So it's kind of cheeky.
But I love the spelling of literally as literally.
We're going to be seeing a lot more of that as time goes on and reading comprehension drops. Well, how would we rate it? Contracts?
Sure.
I think I'd give this one 4 contracts signed in blood.
Yeah, I think 4 is fair.
Yeah, I'll take off a contract for homophobia. That may or may not, like, I can't give them the benefit of the doubt on the homophobia. Though I do like beef a lot.
Yeah. I mean, 74.
The thing is, in a way, and now other people can disagree with me, I would prefer this sometimes than to what we get now, which is either gay people don't exist and we're not even going to talk about them, or like they are the most just like, yes, girl, yes, queen, like they just exist to be like a best friend or something. But at least like beef is such an like a highlight of the film that even though he dies, I mean, like, still though, I mean, he's amazing.
Yeah. Really an incredible performance.
Just I mean, I was already enjoying it, but I like locked in once he like got added. I was like, oh, now this is about to be fun. Why did you give it 4 contracts?
Paul Williams.
Mm-hmm. He's
Well,
such a
and
joy.
Jessica Harper too. And it was introducing Jessica Harper. It was her first film.
That's so crazy. And she went on to do such great things.
I mean, she's just got such presence. I don't know. She's just really wonderful.
She's made to be like the ingenue young lady in a horror. Like you don't want to see bad things happen to her, but you want to see her get through it. Well, what have we learned?
Don't make a deal with the devil. I don't know how many times.
And like, if you're not even, don't give your stuff over to somebody like without a contract.
Oh yeah,
you know,
no,
like
I know
that was stupid.
Also, I don't think fame is like really. I mean, I don't know. Is that really what? That's all that you want is to be famous?
I agree, because even I understand. You know, if you got art, you want people to see it. But also, when I looked at this crowd. And like, I don't know. I'd probably be like, you know what? I'm good. You know, like this are the people you're trying to impress.
Yeah.
When you die on the ground, they're gonna be like, "Whoa, dead guy!" At least in this world. Would we watch it again? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Favorite scene and/or kill?
You go.
Well, I loved Beef's performance, like on stage. I also loved Jessica Harper's performance when she did her little singing number. And I liked Winslow's too at the beginning when they got the camera going around him as he's playing piano. I thought I was into it.
I like the scene with Paul Williams in the bathtub.
Yes.
That's very creative, that he's talking to his reflection and then he's like, "Oh, you must be the devil." You know?
Yes. And then the lights go all red in the reflection.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. And yeah, Beef's performance, I mean, is pretty hard to beat. And the whole like theatricality of that number is also really, really cool.
Yeah. All the music, I think they did a pretty good job. Like,
yeah,
the music
I downloaded
was actually
the soundtrack. Yeah.
Nice. I'm gonna have to listen to it later. Who wins the You Fool Award? I'm gonna say Winslow.
Yeah, poor Winnie.
Yeah, he was too trusting, but because I don't even think that Swan is a fool. I mean, it worked out for a while for him. He was maybe a fool for not like restraining Winslow more.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he's the kind of guy who figures it's always going to work out for him no matter what. So,
That's true.
And he's got all the power. So it doesn't really matter if he gets free because he owns the music.
That's true. But then he might, you know, step in on an assassination, which is such a crazy next sentence to say. Like, you'll never know where this movie's going to go. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it is super fun. Well, thank you, Mac, for having this conversation with me about the Phantom of the Opera and Phantom of the Paradise.
Thank you. It was lovely.
And thank you, WoHos, for joining us and for all your support. It means the world of horror to us truly. Next time, we will be looking at big old monster films with Godzilla 1954. Do you want to say the Japanese?
GODZILLA.
And Cloverfield. Remember, WoHos, we love you, and don't go into the basement.
We did it!